In this video, I just want to show you the basics of using Google Voice, whether it's associated with your Gmail account or your Google Workspace account. Now, this is assuming you already have a Google Voice number. If you don't already have a Google Voice number, then what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to be logged into your Google account, and then you need to click in on either sign in or get started. I recommend you, if you use sign in to begin with, to see if you can get a Google Voice number without having to pay for one. And again, this is really important because Google is actually rolling out a plan to move Google Voice over to an add-on app versus what's referred to as a core app. Today, we all picture Google Voice as a core app, but it's moving. It's moving very quickly. So if you need a Google or want a Google Voice number, I recommend you get one soon. This is March 26th of 2026. Because again, it's going to change. And if you're in your Gmail account and you see this page, go to sign in. Don't hit get started. Go to sign in and see if you can get a Google Voice number without paying for it. Again, it's going to change pretty quickly. Now, if you have a Google Voice number, this is for you. So the basics are pretty straightforward, but I want to make sure you understand some of the nuances of using Google Voice. Again, this is in a web browser. This is not Google Voice on the app, which you could do that as well. Get the Google Voice app for your iPhone or your Android. So pretty straightforward. This line here, all it does is bring the text up. You don't really need the text. Hopefully you understand those icons. And when you hover over them, they tell you what it is anyway. So I'm looking at my phone log, and these are all the phone calls that have come in. And you can see I've been experimenting with Google Voice with this account all the way back to 2009. I had a Google Voice phone number in 2009. And this is text messaging. I clear out all my text messaging. This is the text log right here. You can see I've had a text message conversation going on with another Teddy with this on my cell phone, where I just engaged with them and I got, Teddy texted back. You can go here and see my voicemail. These are voice messages that have come in. This one from September 10th. This came in with transcription not available. This one, transcription is not available as well. That's typically because the voice was either garbled or the person mumbled and the system couldn't transcribe it. But this one up here from Google was easily transcribed, so I can actually read this if I want. Furthermore, I can listen for it down here if I want to listen to it as well. And when you get a voicemail message here, you have the ability, when you're highlighting that, to go over here and call them back, text them back. I have the three options here where I can see who's involved in the call. I can archive the voicemail, mark it as spam, block it, download it, or delete it. Those are the options. Again, under the three dots on each voicemail message that's in the voicemail log. And down here is the archived. If I would have archived anything, it would show up there. And these are phone calls that came in, or even text messages that came in that were spam. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy to use here. And again, these top three, you'll notice that I have the icon where I can call them, but the rest of them don't have the icon for calling. Makes it a little tedious. If I want to call this person back, then I'm going to have to copy that phone number. Just highlight it, hit Control-C, go over here and paste it in here, and then hit call. Interestingly, in the search Google Voice, the only thing that really works is searching for people's names. I can type in Teddy, hit enter, and it brings up all the Teddy text messages, phone calls, inbound, outbound, missed calls, etc. It doesn't let me search for a phone number, which is pretty interesting. I don't understand that. Over here, I have the ability to leave it set up for receiving calls or put it in Do Not Disturb. It'll stay there. All calls that come into this phone number will go directly to voicemail now in Do Not Disturb. I can turn it back off, which means the phone, this web page will actually ring if someone calls this number right here. Here's the upgrade button. This is where Google Voice wants you to go to another level to get more features. If you're using it as a solopreneur, you may not need to upgrade, but it may be worth looking at and understanding relevant to your use. Here's where I can change my audio settings. I can change my microphone. I can change what what speakers ring when someone calls this number. I can also change what speakers I use when I'm talking to someone. The help button, pretty useful for very basic stuff, as well as engaging with the Google community in the context of Google Voice. If you're not paying for Google Workspace, then you're not going to be able to get help directly from a human or a rep. But if you are paying for Google Workspace, the way you get help with even Google Voice is from the Google Workspace admin console. That's how you get access directly to Google. Again, if you're paying for Google Workspace, no matter what help you need. Here's the Sprocket. There's a lot of settings in here. I can, there's my phone number. I can unblock my phone number. So in the event I want to transfer it to another device or another account, you can see that I have only one device that has this phone number on it. That's this web browser you're looking at right here. You can also see that I have it linked to my cell phone. And I can add another link number. I can remove the link number if I want. I also have the ability to port a number into Google Voice. Like you can move a number from your carrier to Google Voice. This lets you use all of your Voice's features with the number people already use to call you. Do that cautiously. Know what you're doing before you're doing it. Some people may have an old cell phone number and they want to get rid of it and move their cell phone number over to Google Voice. That's okay. But again, do that cautiously. I have the ability when someone calls me to forward my messages to my email. I have that turned on. Because I have my Google Voice number associated with a cell phone number, I can use my phone to make all phone calls, as well as I can hide and be anonymous if I want to. I'm not a fan of doing that. I can have my incoming calls. If I want to ring this device on the web right here, ring it, or I can forward them to my cell phone if I want to. I'm not a fan of forwarding my Google Voice calls to my cell phone. I prefer to manage that in Google Voice and or through the email messages I get. I can create custom rules. I'm not going to go through that today. It's a whole nother process. I can get alerts for missed calls. It'll send an email to my Gmail. If I get a missed call, typically I turn that off. I can screen call if I want. So when they call and I answer it, the first thing it's going to do is ask the person to tell me who they are. And I can listen to that if I want. I have incoming call options if I want to. I can manage these call options, including record a call, which I kind of like record a call. So I leave that on. If I'm going to forward my calls to my cell phone or to another call, I may want to enable that the caller Google Voice number goes with it so I can see that call being forwarded came from my Google Voice number. I can clear all of the call history, including archived and spam calls by clicking that button there. I don't want to do that. I can record a greeting. I can listen to the greeting that's already on there. I can record a new greeting. I can manage all the greetings that I have. You can see this is the greeting that's there now. I have 2 other greetings. I can listen to them and or I can set them as active. I don't see the delete button here to delete a greeting. Kind of thought that, well, there it is, delete right there. Oh, I can't delete this one because I'm using it up here. But I can delete this one because it's not in use right now. Delete it. Close that down. I can enable voice transcripts if I want to, which again, I think is useful. If I want to read what someone said to me in a voicemail versus having to go listen to it, especially if I'm in a space where I don't want to have to listen to that out loud. I can enable call to listen. And basically what that is I call the phone number and then it's going to ask me for a PIN number. And I do that. I enter in the PIN number and then I can listen to my voicemail messages by calling my cell phone. By calling the Google Voice. That seems to be very old style. So I don't even use that. If I had my web browser set up to notify me, I would get notifications. Payments is all about if I'm making calls, international calls, then I need to have money on my account to be able to make international calls. Google actually gives us a dime to start with, but I can add more money. I can look and see, how often I use it and how often I add money if I add credits to it. And then, also it shows me the calling rates in the different international calls. I can have it set up to automatically notify me if my balance gets too low. This would be important if I'm using this Google Voice number to make a lot of international calls. In this account, I don't do that. I can filter spam calls and text automatically based on Google rules. I can change the contrast of the screen. You do that because it's a Google-wide setting. It'll take me to Google settings to do that. And the last thing I view here is the privacy and terms of Google Voice. And if you have not read those, I recommend you read those. All of this is what's in Google Voice settings. Back to Google Voice. On the right side of the screen, here's the three dots. From Google Voice, I can open up any other Google app. Also, you can see I can type in a regular phone number here, 336-918-5526. I can type that number and I can call it, or I can, Google allows you to have suggestions based on previous engagement that I can, use these suggestions, or I can come down here and do 336-918-5526. Again, I think that's a little old school. I think it's way easier just to type the number right there and hit the button. If I had a long list of suggestions, I may hide the keypads. I can see the rest of the suggestions. And then that's it. This is all the basics of using Google Voice after you've gotten a Google Voice phone number. I'm Teddy, your Google Workspace and Gmail guy, and I hope this is helpful for you.